Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. I started a minute too early. 2 minutes too early. But it don't matter. I know you see the cake back there in the background. Getting real caked up in these wonderful, glorious times. Oh, okay, let me where's the mute button? I just hit M. Alright. You know, gotta make sure the scene is framed right, you know what I'm saying? Let me see. But what's going on as we wait for individuals to show up if they're gonna show up? I be setting my streams directly next to the Celtics games because like who watching the Celtics, bro? Like let's be real, let's be serious about it. Hey man, go make that pasta. You know what I'm saying? When it's nice and al dente, you can come back and we can get real uh technological about the Lakers just dismantling the Warriors yesterday. Beautiful things we saw. You know what I'm saying? They made an adjustment that I did not foresee defensively because the whole time people asking me like, "Hey, bro, what you gonna do about the Steph pick and roll coverage, bro? Like, I don't understand. They coming up high. They setting the ball screens at half court, and then they getting Dre in the short roll, and he just diving to the rim because AD ain't there. I'm like, listen, bro. Me personally, I didn't conceive of a universe where they were going to take Vandal off Steph. You know what I'm saying? But thinking back on it, that was the perfect thing to do. They took Vandal off Steph. They put him on Draymond, and then when it got real sticky, real questionable in the screen streets, they could switch what was going on. AD guarding Jermichael so he ain't taken away from the rim. They was trying to take away AD from the rim on offense and defense. I would have talked about this in the stream, but I was feeling god awful until yesterday, and I still don't feel that great. But there was ice and everything. They had 32 people in the paint, you know what I'm saying, pulled in on because Vando wasn't shooting. So they had about 17 people in the paint, even though it was functionally 3 or 4, and they was just mucking up the works and they was getting out and running and just giving us the blues. You know what I'm saying? But all that switched. Great defensive adjustment. You know what I'm saying? Big oink man making it do what it do. Big Hamuel. I'm out here talking to one person. That person is probably myself. I need to take these sunglasses off. I can't really see. But if I keep these on, y'all not going to be able to tell when I'm not really looking at the camera because I've been doing a lot of that, just not looking at the camera for entire streams at a time. You know what I'm saying? Because I got the display is in front of me, but I need that to see the YouTube so I can see the comments, which it don't look like it's going to be a lot of them today, but I streamed at a different time. That's on me, baby. I'm streaming during a live basketball game. People probably at church, you know what I'm saying, getting they holy word in. I don't know what part of the world a lot of y'all's in. I know a lot of people over there from California. It's about noon. People at brunch having mimosas, all that good stuff. But we here, we streaming, you know what I'm saying? It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a nasty moisty day, you know what I'm saying? Hashtag moisty. Shout out to Jisoo from Blackpink. She know what it is about the moisty streets. But like I was saying, great defensive adjustments by Mr. Oink Man. You know what I'm saying? He has shown that his in game rotations and decisions such as that might still need some work. But that brother's game to game adjustments, he's been going crazy. You know what I'm saying? I still don't understand how I didn't conceive like Vandal not guarding Draymond because I just knew they was gonna have to put LeBron on there, and then I just was gonna have to see if he was old, getting hunted on switches by Steph, or what was gonna happen. I don't know, but they found because part of that was not only did I not think they was not gonna take Vandal off Steph, I didn't think they was gonna put Clay on. I mean, I didn't think they was gonna put Reeves on Steph, like because he was already looking like cooked food navigating screens. He's looking very hobbled. He looked a little better in the second half, but he still was looking you know what I'm saying? His first like 5 points was like gifted free throws on like techs and flagrants and all kind of stuff. Which that flagrant take foul rule, I don't like that. Instead of letting anybody shoot a flagrant take foul, just give us 3 free throws. Let the one person shoot the tech and then let the person who got fouled shoot the 2 take foul free throws. Like this ain't rocket surgery, baby. You know what I'm saying? But I thought Reeves, uh, it sounds counterintuitive, but he's probably a better fit to chase Steph around on screens as opposed to Clay because even though Steph is a little shiftier and he causes a little more strain by having you have to go further out on defense and things like that. He's also a smaller human being, and like Reeves, for all of his scrappiness and quote unquote himness and having a dog in him and all this other stuff, you still do with what, a 6'6" wingspan. Like he's not an athletic marvel, and his physical traits aren't something that are necessarily like beneficial. Even though like he's has a certain level of shift and craft and things like that. I'm standing in front of the cakes. I should move this over. The display of the cakes is. Let me see if I can move it. Precarious cake situation, baby. But Reeves is probably more suited to guard Steph if he's going to guard an off ball chaser or an on ball point of attack, getting around screens kind of guy. Because even though Steph is, like I said, what he is, he's still going to have some physical advantages over Steph to be able to stay with him a little more and probably have a little less wear on him trying to stay with a bigger body like Clay is. They also made a good adjustment showing how Clay in the second quarter, uh, they was letting Clay just walk into a couple handoff threes. You know what I'm saying? He come from the wing, get that handoff going left, just pull up. You know what I'm saying? Cash money bags. It was like what, around 8 minutes in the second quarter when I first really noticed. Like AD was like, "Nah, bro, we stepping all the way up here, and we're gonna make you make a decision because for all Clay's greatness, he still is not like a known dribbler, bro. Like I don't understand what people are talking about, like people getting hunted in certain matches and stuff with the Warriors, and it's like only person that can really make it do what it do off the ball is Steph. Like, so if you can reasonably navigate screens and stuff, you'll have a chance. But Clay was just on fire until he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? They also put D'Lo on him as a chaser, which I've been talking about for 16 years at this point. Because unlike Reeves, even though D'Lo is not as athletic as Reeves, he has like a 6'10" wingspan, and he's a competent screen navigator, and he knows how to move his way around the court. They were doing a lot of the screening action where they would kind of set that, like they would come in the middle of the paint and then Clay would like push off and decide which way he was going to go. I don't know what they call it. It was some kind of, I don't know what the terminology these guys be coming up with these days. I think they're calling it like gut something. I don't know, but they had a lot of screening actions in the paint where Clay could just kind of use his hands and navigate in certain ways, and they were kind of trying to face guard that and stuff like that. And D'Lo did a good job cutting that off. Dennis did a good job of cutting that off. And they just had better connectivity after like the first quarter or so. Uh, what what was I getting at? I'd be losing my train of thought a lot just because, you know what I'm saying, that's the nature of live hashtag entertainment. Even though you might not find this as entertaining as I do, you know what I'm saying, it still is under the umbrella of entertainment. But offensively, they they added some nice little wrinkles to some stuff that I thought that they were trying to run, and they kind of figured out how to kind of unlock it in a way. Particularly one of the things they were doing is that that action for AD that they like to run with the pin down screen and him, I don't know, either coming around wide or going baseline depending on the angle of the screen and who sets the screen. I thought they did a good job of one showing having a different initiation for that, because in previous games it would just be D'Lo standing at the top of the key waiting for Austin or somebody to set a screen, and then just throwing a pass, a little bounce pass if the screen was successful and things like that. And then they'd flip the screening angle and he would go baseline, AD would go baseline and try to make something happen from there. But what they started doing was, after D'Lo got his cook off in the first like 9 minutes of the game or so, they started using LeBron in the post, which I've been also begging for them to do, or use him as a screener or something, just to get him from just being in front of a set defense like that all the time. And they were initiating that action with D'Lo in the corner with AD, and sometimes you would find AD. But what they were also doing was, instead of focusing on trying to get the ball to AD, when D'Lo would come off the screen, they would give him the ball and have him attack from the corner, kind of compromise the defense so they're not just wrestling with AD. I know the one player in particular, D'Lo caught the ball. He threw a bounce pass to AD while Draymond was kind of like activated as a defender, but not all the way. So he was still staying with AD. So the pass was a little difficult, but D'Lo got the pass there, and AD just shot over the top of Draymond, who wasn't like necessarily in the best position to contest as he would generally be in the other variant of that set, where they would just kind of try to ram through them or just go over the top of them, and he's like kind of waiting for it. So I like that adjustment, you know what I'm saying, getting D'Lo activated. They were putting Clay and Steph particularly, as the game went along, they were putting Steph in a lot of ball screen actions with Reeves. Reeves would come up and set a screen like on LeBron's man or something. And they would just and LeBron, that wasn't later in the game, that was in the beginning. Reeves would come in and set screens. LeBron would get a little bit of penetration. You know what I'm saying? Swing that thing out to D'Lo, whose jumper was looking how it's been looking for most of the season. You know what I'm saying? He had to find a rhythm. Like, shooters just lose rhythm at certain points, you know what I'm saying, during the course of a couple weeks span. Like, it's gonna be a couple games where you're not hitting threes, but like he was locked in today particularly, and they were getting busy after that start. You know what I'm saying? They, not offensively, they started kind of stinking it up for a while. But they stayed the course, you know what I'm saying, and got back on track in the second quarter. Played a great second quarter hoops. That last 8 minutes was real hoops, and then they kind of just ran off with the game from there. I just saw a question. What do you think happens with the Lonnie minutes next game? I think they're gonna give him another chance for sure. Um, Lonnie is weird in the sense that sometimes he doesn't handle the success as well as he should have, and not from like an ego standpoint or anything like that. But he like, I think the what was it, the game before the Chicago game, I do not remember who they played, where Lonnie came in and gave them some solid minutes, and then I think in the Chicago game they just rewarded him with more minutes, and then he showed why he had been in and out of the rotation like so far. Like, you know what I'm saying, he immediately like didn't repay it with like another solid effort. But I think they're gonna uh give him a shot, because if nothing else, Lonnie is the archetype of guard that would give the Warriors the most problems, because they don't have a lot of wing guarding talent, and they don't have a lot of size in their guard spots. Like, particularly in these playoffs where Clay and Steph are going to be on the court. Well, Clay has size, but he done had 18,000 leg injuries at this point, so he's not exactly the stalwart defender that he used to be. And so a guy like Lonnie to spell one of the guards, because particularly like Dennis played okay yesterday, but like still offensively he doesn't have the consistent like driving stuff going on in the playoffs. And Reeves, we just talked about his struggles, even though in the second half he did look decidedly more like shifty, you know what I'm saying? he was able to attack a little bit better. I don't know if that was, I haven't really watched the film or anything, I'm just going off of memory, but like he was getting to spots a little bit better, and he I think he drew a couple fouls, and he just kind of generally looked more engaged on offense. But Lonnie is another guy in that archetype that we saw in the last series. Like, the Warriors have problems with athleticism on the perimeter, and so if Lonnie can stay locked into the game plan, and he can play defense and hit the shots that are available and attack some closeouts that are a result of him making the shots that he's given, and generally being a nuisance on the other end on defense, where he could trail Steph and like just stay attached as best as possible by navigating screens and just by just being an athletic presence out there, then I think he can get consistent minutes. Now, it's a series to series thing. If it's successful in this series, we win the series and go to Denver, his minutes might change, because they have a, you know, I'm not gonna say they have an entirely different like situation over there, but like their guard talent is a little bit different. Like KCP and Bruce Brown are a little more physical and stuff like that, and then like we can see how that would muck up on Lonnie's game in certain respects, and like he tries to get more ISO type stuff going on the offensive end, and like what is his responsibility on defense, like so. But for now, I do think he's going to be playing a role going forward. I didn't think they would go to him first. I thought, well, you know, maybe I knew they just couldn't go to Beasley. I knew that, but I didn't know he would be the sub for Troy. I hadn't considered it, just like I didn't consider the Vando on Draymond switch. I think my dad was like, what they gonna do with Lonnie? I'm like, I don't even remember what I said, because I wasn't even like, I be forgetting people on the team sometimes, to be completely honest. Even though I praised Lonnie earlier in the season, you know what I'm saying, for being professional, staying ready and stuff like that. You know, sometimes you just don't consider certain things, because it's like, this is a certain level of the playoffs, and the dude's not playing in the regular season. Like, is he even gonna get in? And that's a testament to our coaching staff, like just having the confidence in guys to just go and like see what they got if the opportunity presents itself, because we did need an answer in those backup guard minutes, and Troy wasn't giving us anything spectacular. And the way he plays defense is not necessarily useful in this series, because it's a lot of screen navigation, stuff like that, as opposed to just being a live body out there that can kind of disrupt people with, you know what I'm saying, your physical traits and stuff like that, if you're not of the the physical traits you need in this series, and you're not particularly making any shots or making any plays in any other respects, then it's like there's no minutes for use. But Lonnie brings an added element of not only reliable spot up shooting for the most part, as reliable as we probably have on a roster outside of like D'Lo. He also brings an element of a rim attacking that we kind of need in stretches as well. So I think he's gonna get more minutes. I don't know how long I just took to answer that question, but I think he'll have a role going forward. Uh, I don't remember what I was talking about before that. Ah man, I really need to start playing Super Auto Pets or something while we streaming. You know what I'm saying? When there's lulls in the comments section. But going ahead, like a lot of people were complaining about the fouls once again. And like, of course, the free throw discrepancy is what it is, but like the free throw discrepancy of these two teams, just in general, like the Warriors were last, I think, or like one of the bottom teams in free throw generation, like like, the whole season. I think they were 30th. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be forgetting how many teams is in the league sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because NFL, I think got 32. I don't remember. You know what I'm saying? I think they was last. Is the point. And I didn't see anything too egregious. I thought that it was more of an indictment on the way the game was called last game, where a lot of the stuff, the tricks of the trade that they got away with, and they have been getting away with for years in their reputation as a dynastic basketball team, like they were just getting called. Like somebody posted the worst example of them calling a 3 second on defense that was absolutely deserved. DiVincenzo in the paint, and you're supposed to clear the paint out. You know what I'm saying? And what you do is you jump both feet out the paint. You ain't supposed to just have one foot in the paint and just be sticking the other foot out and playing hokey pokey in the paint, bro. Like you're supposed to actually clear the paint and then get back in that thing. And he was just kind of just in there, and he was in there for like 15 seconds just doing that. Like, and people like, oh, nearest defender is such and such, but the way it was filmed, it was zoomed in from the sideline angle, so you couldn't really see it. Then you see the 2K angle, I like to call it, and he wasn't in within 10 feet of nobody. He was just in the middle of the paint just dancing, like, and people was complaining about that. You kind of see that, like, people just be watching whatever they want to watch, and they just make up whatever narratives they want to make up according to, like, if they got the desired result they wanted or not. Because that, I didn't see anything particularly egregious. They called 2 fouls on Draymond, which were fouls. He was not set either time. Like, they were close, but you know what I'm saying? You don't just get calls because you have a reputation as a good defender and like you're going to be reliably in spots most of the time. That's not how this works. They were complaining about a strip on Reeves that he got hit like all in the wrist and stuff. Like, bro, like the free throws were what they were. They had a take foul, they had a flagrant, like technicals, like the free throw discrepancy was what it was, but it wasn't like nobody was out there cheating, bro. Y'all got out physical. Like I expected to happen this whole series. They went small and kind of mucked up the works or whatever, but like the identities of these teams are going to be what they're going to be. And it's going to be the Lakers using their physical advantages to kind of grind Golden State into the paint. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's just going to be what it's going to be. People quoting how many drives each team had, but like not accounting for the fact that Golden State drives to kick out and spray out a majority of the time that they do it. Steph is relocating every time he drives pretty much unless he gets to the rim. Like, basketball is not played in a vacuum. Raw numbers don't really tell you anything. Like let's just stop with the narrative shenanigans and all this other stuff. Even though, you know what I'm saying, I ain't hating, you know what I'm saying, because I thought the refs was on some crazy time last time, but you know what I'm saying, that was Tony Brothers and what's his face, the Celtics fan, and you know they just don't, they be vibe reffing, bro. I ain't gonna say the Celtics man got an agenda, but like, you know what I'm saying, his hands ain't clean. Shout out to Pat Bev for showing them the footages with the camera. You know what I'm saying? Look what you did, brother. Like, this call was terrible. Like, we respect that. What else? It was some I didn't talk about this. I wanted to talk about it on the stream the other day, but like I said, I was cooked, bro. I did want to talk about Vando. And we're not talking about basketball right now. We're talking about Fashion Man Vando. They said mans went to a store, you know what I'm saying? A boutique or whatever it was. I ain't look at the guy's page or I don't remember, you know what I'm saying, what the situation was with the store or whatever, but man's got $2,000 worth of clothes wore him on the NBA red carpet, aka the tunnel walk, and then was like, bro, I don't respect these. I'm sending them back. And there was two prevailing uh thought patterns going on. One thought pattern that I don't understand was, well, I don't not understand it, but like me as a person who like is in the economy and like in a commerce person, like if I'm buying something, most of the time I'm like, not like, yeah, I'm about to return all this after I done had it on my body for any amount of time. You know what I'm saying? Like people like, yeah, that's a smart way to save money. So that tells me that a lot of people are doing it. I know like people wearing stuff out with the tags and stuff is the thing. I'm not particularly that kind of person. You know what I'm saying? Even though I could be like, if I wanted to be, because you know what I'm saying, I'm not going to be a person that's going to funk up your clothes. I'm not going to mess up no clothes or anything like that. But like the idea of just like wearing something and then returning it and trying to get a full refund is not something that I'm just like a guy who's just going to do that just because I'm not. You know what I'm saying? But other people was like, man, you making all this money, Vando. You got to just eat that $2,000, all this other stuff. And I don't necessarily agree with that as well, particularly if you don't like the fit, bro. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see nothing particularly wrong with it. I think all of his fits aren't fire anyway. So like, but I'm an old man, so you know what I'm saying. What do I know? But the fact that one dude posted about it, which just seems like an awful business strategy, particularly from a guy that you know is not like who's gonna have an income going forward. He didn't say anything bad about the clothes. Maybe he would have told the homies like, bro, you know what I'm saying? I went to the spot, I got the clothes, I got in them, I lived in them for a little bit, didn't like them, took them back, got a refund, everything was straight. You know what I'm saying? We can come, you know what I'm saying? I'll show y'all the little boutique. We can do some business there later or whatever. But he just cut that bridge completely off. Like it's not like he stole the clothes or something. Like he got his refund back or whatever. But like he didn't say anything. So like you just probably cut off a whole consumer base because you wanted a little bit of clout on the Twitter machine, talking about you got a reason to hate the Lakers now. Like, what are you doing? That's just bad business, bro. Like if you do it like 37 times, or if you just ran off with your fits and he ain't pay for them, you know what I'm saying? Then that's one thing. But like he put them on, whatever his reasons for, he returned them. Somebody processed the return. Like, what are we doing, bro? Like it's just bad business. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a businessman, and so you know maybe that's how we get down in the clothing industry. I don't know, but it just seems like a poor idea to me. um, what else? You know what I'm saying? Making a big deal about we finally got them in the flesh. Every time I would show y'all these, they would be empty because I would be going through them crazy. You know what I'm saying? This lemon. You know what I'm saying? We got lemon and vanilla over here. That's gonna fall. Gonna get busy on that in a minute. But before that, if I could remember what I was about to say or do, I'm having a bad remember day. You know what I'm saying? My neck has been in disarray for the last 2 days, at least. And one of the things that the neck issues causes is brain fog. So like, excuse me if I'm out of it a little bit. Oh yeah, we had the D'Lo article that dropped today. Timberwolves fans is mad about that, brother. And I don't want to talk about this all the time, but it's germane to the situation. You know what I'm saying? D'Lo's out there getting busy in the first quarter. You know what I'm saying? In the end of the second, and then he had an audience with Sam Amick of the Athletic, who I think did he used to work for Sports Illustrated? I don't know. I always get him and Amico mixed up, and you don't want to do that because I think Amico is the one that be doing all the wild conspiracy theory tweets and stuff about basketball, where he just making up whatever he want to make up. But Amick, you know what I'm saying, was like, what's going on, brother? You know what I'm saying? D'Lo like, man, they was tripping in Minnesota, bro. They wasn't using me correctly. They wanted me to play a certain way, and I was like, I'm a peacock, bro. You gotta let me fly. Shout out to the other guys. I need to watch that now that D'Lo has brought that quote back into the lexicon, even though he said bird, not a peacock. So like, you know what I'm saying? It's a different level of comedy there. But it's just another conversation where we have seen that people struggle with the nuances of what happens on a basketball court and what people say when they're talking about the game. Because D'Lo said that he wasn't being used a certain way. He's here now. He's able to flourish in different ways. And people are posting his point totals and his assist totals and all this other stuff like, oh, he's really gotten out of the prison that Minnesota had him in. And he's averaging and he has the same numbers here and there, which one is a testament to his consistency as a third option with actual basketball players who play basketball the right way with him, and two, is just not. It wasn't the point at all. Um, we have all heard, if you in this stream and you any level of familiar with my channel, the whole traditional point guard talk, which, like I said, is pure nonsense. From a basketball team building standpoint, if you want to actually win basketball games in games that matter, you can't have somebody whose only skill is to pass the ball or dribble the ball up the court and pass the ball and go stand in the corner for 15 seconds. If that guy is supposed to be the architect of your offense and he's not gonna be having any imprint on it offensively from a shooting the ball standpoint, then you're not gonna go very far. We've seen Tyus struggle again. People were big fans of Fred VanVleet, and he's kind of that ilk. Like, you know what I'm saying? People became big fans of Quickly. He's struggling in the playoffs. Like, that archetype has its flaws for a reason, and you kind of need a different type of guard to kind of be successful. We haven't seen a traditional point guard be that successful in like 30 years, like as the main driver of a team. Like, and then that's what D'Lo was saying. It was basically like, bro, they had me as the third option, but the third option over there does not have freedom to do certain things, and the two options ahead of me, you know what I'm saying? I had to give them the ball and let them cook, but the cook isn't a reciprocal thing with those gentlemen in particular. But here, you know what I'm saying? LeBron has the ball, he finds me. AD has the ball, he finds me, and he plays tremendous defense. And I'm able to get a little freer when I want to get my own offense, you know what I'm saying, and just do what it do. And it was, you know what I'm saying, that was that. And people just responded by posting the air ball in the Memphis game, even though he has made big shots since then. But like, I guess those didn't happen. But it's just another thing where people have an idea of what basketball is supposed to be. And if what they see on the court doesn't fit that, then they can't really like process what it means. And so like, it wasn't even a shot at like the fans or anything like that. People have been saying Chris Finch has been tripping for however long. And then D'Lo said, yeah, man, Chris Finch was tripping. They're like, man, how dare you talk about like, I was one person who believed in Chris Finch as somebody who could unlock D'Lo, and I still believe he could have, provided certain things were in place. What I severely underestimated was Chris Finch's total reliance on like penetration being a huge part of his offense. That was the reason like it seemed like he preferred J-Mac and like Conley. They claim is a better fit, but you know what I'm saying, the numbers tell a different story. But he prefers his one guard, you know what I'm saying, his traditional point guard, if you want to call it that, to be a little more of a penetration player. And that's a common theme amongst like all teams, I guess. Like you kind of want your main ball handler to be a penetration threat, but like the extent to which he valued it was something I didn't really expect. And so I think a lot of the stylistic clash was just from that aspect. I don't think D'Lo put enough pressure on the rim in the way that he wanted D'Lo to. And so like the drive and kick aspects of the offense weren't probably where he wanted to, but like D'Lo knew the rest of the offense. Like he was the only one besides like J-Mac who really ran the offense the way it was supposed to be run anyway. And, so like I just think it was I don't think it was a thing where it was just like a thing where they hated each other or they hated each other's basketball philosophies or anything like that. I think just stylistically they were at an impasse, and they were fine with the whole point and experiment, which we see like is not the way to go. I'm still of the opinion that Anthony Edwards needs to be on his Devin Booker arc, off ball, curling into the paint, doing all that good stuff, using his athletic advantages instead of attacking set defenses, you know what I'm saying, even though he was cooking in the playoffs. But like when the game is on the line and it's time to get real buckets, like you can't play the tween ball, you know what I'm saying? So if Finch has another chance, if Connolly stays in Minnesota, people saying he about to flee to Washington, you know what I'm saying? I don't know where all that stuff came from and how they would even finagle that. But like them brothers over there got some things to think about. But all we thinking about over here is potential championship runs and things of that nature. I do think the Warriors are going to make some adjustments, probably come back. I do wonder if they're going to continue to go small like that, because I think that the adjustments the Lakers made are going to be something that they're going to have a little trouble contending with. And I think that a large portion of why that game looked the way it did yesterday is because those brothers just stopped making shots at crazy levels. Like, even though Clay was getting free and stuff, like, that off the dribble shooting was going crazy. And like, they were just shooting at clips that nobody could reasonably expect to like sustain over long periods of time. And when that shooting is not being sustained, just like people saying the free throw, so on the other side for the Lakers can't be sustained. Like, they don't look like the better team in any respect once you take some blistering hot shooting out of the equation. But I will say that we haven't really seen a Steph game yet. Like, game 2 was a good playmaking game for him, but we haven't really seen Steph like cook yet. And we always have to be wary of that, even though he, for the large majority of like the better part of 10 years now, has not looked particularly great in Staples Center. Most of the time he's up in there. I don't know if he out there hitting the stroll, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what the LA hot spots are, you know what I'm saying? If he out there on the town, you know what I'm saying? Rubbing elbows, kissing babies. I don't know what's going on, but he don't be cooking like that. So now that I've said that, he putting up 45 tomorrow. So just blame me for that loss in advance. But I do think that them brothers are in trouble. Like, but I thought they were in trouble after game 1. Then they came back and mollywopped us. But I do think that we played a relatively conservative game plan for like the first 2 games, pretty much. Like, we just kind of was out there hooping. And then when we waited for the adjustment to be made and we didn't want to show our hand in the second game, then third game, the adjustment came. So I don't know what the adjustment is. Game 4, do they upsize their lineup again? Like, is Jermichael, they had Jermichael out there running pick and pops threes at the wing. Like, I'll take an above the break Jermichael Green 3 any day of the week, bro. Like, what's going on? What are you going to do with that brother if AD's going to be guarding him? Do you want to make him work on the boards, potentially get him in foul trouble? If you put Looney back in, will he even be guarding Looney? Like, it's a lot of things still to be settled in this here contest. But since ain't nobody really asking no questions, I think we're going to end this thing early. Might talk about the Knicks for a second. No, I don't want to. I'll do that on another stream. But other than that, I'm about to attack this cake with the fervor of the Lakers in the second and third quarters of last night's contest. You know what I'm saying? Nothing but cakes. Get you some. We caked up out here. You know what I'm saying? You got the stamp of approval. We got that lemon on deck. We got our back patches. We hit the plug for the back patches. So we going to be a little more upright, hopefully, in the next couple days. What else? Might post some actual videos on this channel pretty soon. Not it's gonna be more of this talking. There's not gonna be any breakdowns yet. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if we get some off time or something in between the series or something, I might could whip something together. But we're gonna be back because these videos do not reach the larger audience. Hashtag moist, you know what it is. Hashtag moisty. We out here eating I don't know. I don't even know what the ingredients of the bundt cake is. I know what I'm saying? We got flour, eggs, all that good stuff. But like, what's really in there unlocking the moist potentials? You know what I'm saying? The moist mylars, or if they post, you know what I'm saying, the chemical structures of the moisty cakes, we might can recreate something. But I think this is something that only well, it's a chain cake place. So like, they gotta have you know what I'm saying, the trade secrets gotta be in there. But like, I've only had one. No, I've had 2. It's one in Cleveland. I had some of those too. So like, they've been unlocking the moistiness across Ohio at least. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And people been saying that the ones in California are good. You know what I'm saying? The homies out there was like, yeah, nothing but cakes going hard. Homies in Mississippi, like, yeah, bro, that's it. You know what I'm saying? It's the it's the business. But you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's something that's translatable on paper, if like it's just been like when you open one of them establishments, you just get like divine intervention and it just tells you how to unlock the buttercream / moisty potential of your cakes. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not a cake person, so I ain't really out here caked up like that on regular cake, but the bundt cake game is going super crazy. Maybe that's just a byproduct of it. I don't know. But we about to get hashtag moist out here, hashtag caked up. Or I don't know. I might just put them back in the fridge and save them for Monday. Cause you know what I'm saying? TMI, my stomach is cooked a little bit. I ain't even going, cause I've been eating. I think I done had like 7 cakes in like the past 5 days. And I also got the cheesecake on deck. You know what I'm saying? Got the graham crackers and the cheesecake. We about to be out here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Getting back up to 200, and then we gonna go on another protect our stomach campaign, and we're gonna fluctuate back down to about 175, and we're just gonna have to keep yo-yoing like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's pretty good. I think that's how who died like that? Luther Vandross died. Somebody died. Somebody had a heart attack or something because they weight kept fluctuating. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't trying to be on that unless somebody's trying to hire me as an actor. Then I will gladly get my Christian Bale and the Mechanic on, and then get my Jonah Hill and the Wolf of Wall Street on. You know what I'm saying? Just show my versatility as a weight gainsman and a thespian out here. Even though I'm probably a terrible actor because I have a habit of like my face and my hands be shaking sometimes when I'm a little too locked in. It's not like a nerve thing. Well, I guess it is a nerve thing. My body was just like a highly reactive body. I think that's why I'm in the predicament I am now. But like my general like baseline state of like nerves, but not like from a nervous, but just like the way I respond to like noises in the atmosphere and stuff in the environment. I should say the atmosphere, noises and stuff. I'm a jumpy guy. I think that's why I survived like biologically this long. My ancestors was real alert, you know what I'm saying? They on the lookout for all the ops, you know what I'm saying? And I just happened to make it. I don't know if they was fighting ops after they alert. They probably was running, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't think I'm built for too much physical strenuousness at this point. In my younger days, I might could have put a couple people in the dirt, but nobody really tried me because, you know what I'm saying? I'm a nice guy. Nobody want nothing to do with me anyway, you know what I'm saying? I think me and the homies was they had the gloves one time, you know what I'm saying? And I was out there bobbing and weaving something crazy. It was like, and then I hit somebody with a nice little, that was the end of those shenanigans, you know what I'm saying? Had to hem up a couple people, you know what I'm saying, across my travels, but not really. I ain't no fighter, you know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say, my nerves is bad sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We living through it. I'm swirling the shoulder, so that means we got to get off of here pretty soon because my my rotator cuff is activatedly cooked. My neck is cooked. My lats, they feel all right, but you know what I'm saying? So I'm about to go get caked up. Watch some of this terrible Celtics basketball. Boo, the Celtics sing. Say, I'll be playing this Celtics up stuff. I don't care what them fools are doing. If we meet them in the finals, then you know what I'm saying? It's beef forever. But like in the general day to day, the best thing I do for my rivals and people I don't like is just to pay them no mind, you know. And I think a lot of people could learn from that. You know what I'm saying? If you got ops out here, if they actively on you, then you know what I'm saying, make it do what it do. But if they ain't, you know what I'm saying, if they ain't around, you know, you ain't got to be checking around the street seeing what they doing, bro. Cause like, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Live your best life. You know what I'm saying? Squabble up when you need to squabble up. Other than that, you know what I'm saying? Take naps or play PlayStation, whatever it is that brings you peace. You know what I'm saying? Get some of that in your life because we only here for a short amount of time, baby. You know what I'm saying? Life too short for all this nonsense. You feel me? Well, I ain't gonna get into my philosophical, you know what I'm saying, beliefs and all that other stuff. That's for another day. You know what I'm saying? But stay safe out here. You know what I'm saying? Stay caked up if you can. You know what I'm saying? Get caked up if you ain't familiar. And yeah, I see y'all when I see y'all. I always do this. You know what I'm saying I'm a fade to black on y'all with the